Hey guys, welcome back to 100 Drops of Apex Legends, the series where I drop every POI in the game 100 times, track my stats across said drops, and pass along any tips, tricks, and lessons I learned in an effort to master the game and help you get better as well. Today, we'll be taking a look at probably the hottest drop on Kings Canyon, and it's creature containment. So if you're a kill grinder, pub stomper, or overall loose cannon agent of chaos, this episode is for you. Now just like every episode, here's a list of the stats that we'll be tracking across our 100 drops of containment. Additionally, all games will take place in pubs. I've gotten many requests to analyze ranked in a similar way, or to include ranked mode in these videos, but with the current state of ranked, 1, I just don't get very much enjoyment out of playing it, and 2, there are likely substantial changes coming to the scoring system soon, or at least we can hope. So I want to hold off on diving into that just yet and see what Respawn has in store for the mode in the coming months. Now, with all that out of the way, without further ado, let's leave no stat unturned and no tip unlearned. This is the POI Breakdown of Containment. Containment was added to Kings Canyon with the Season 2 map rework alongside the Cage, and it resides south of Artillery and north of Bunker, smack in the middle of the canyon that the map is named for. It has a survey beacon, crafter, and the most consistent action off drop that you'll find on the entire map. The POI consists of 4 research labs, 2 on the low ground and 2 on the high ground, a large central tower, and we'll loop the radio tower overlooking the POI in here and talk about it as well, since it's so close by. Landing one of the buildings and grabbing the floor loot within is usually my choice drop, but with how many people typically land here, you'll need to be good at thinking on the fly and knowing where to scavenge for loot in case you get a bad drop. The open cages on the low ground all have ground loot in them, and there are 2 pills on the middle platform of the central tower. This yellow building not far off from the POI is a common place that people like to fall back to and loot if their drop is bad as well. And dropping at and looting the radio tower and jumping down to containment to third party is a very strong tactic with a high success rate. It just may mean missing out on a couple kill opportunities while you do your initial looting. I believe Horizon is far and away the best choice of legend for landing at this POI, with her passive jump jets allowing you to hit the ground and loot quicker than your opponents, and her Q allowing for great maneuverability in and around the multiple levels of height between the ground, roofs, and central tower. Other great legends to pick include Wraith, whose Q can allow you to disappear into the chaos if you find yourself in a tough situation, and Octane for a similar reason to Horizon. His Q will let you grab guns and loot quicker than your enemies, which is ultimately the biggest factor in determining your success at this POI. My recommended rotation from Containment is to just head towards wherever zone is pulling. You're already landing at the center of the map, and chances are a good amount of other teams will be doing the same or fighting their own contests. If your team is the last one standing, likely you'll have already made it to the mid, or maybe even the endgame, and should rotate to zone, keeping in mind the dropship angle and POI popularity to determine where the rest of the surviving squads will be. But that's just about everything you need to know about Containment. Let's get into the 100 drops themselves, where I'll be going over key tips, tricks, and game situations to ensure you can come out of the bloodbath on top and maximize your kills and wins when you drop at this POI. But before we get to that, you guys know what time it is. It's time to appease the YouTube algorithm overlords. So be sure to smash that like button, give me a big fat bro fist, and a subscribe if you haven't already. Nah, but in all seriousness, I really do appreciate it, and it honestly does make a massive difference. But without any further ado, let's get into the 100 drops themselves. Take a look at some game situations that you guys can learn a thing or two from, so that you guys see better success when you drop a Containment. First off, it's important to remember that Containment is a hot drop, and safety in numbers is a real thing. See how my squad is able to take down this Valk and secure our building on drop 47, even when she had a better landing than us. And enjoy a bit of a pop-off from yours truly right afterwards as well. Now, a little bit about myself. I played basketball at a highly competitive level in college. One of the biggest lessons I learned from that experience is that you're going to have off days, but you can still help contribute to your team's success even if you can't seem to hit a shot. This same lesson applies to Apex. On drop 55, I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with my gun, but I consistently found ways to help my team win the contest through providing covering fire, grabbing banners and respawning, and ensuring I didn't die for free throughout the contest.
Over here, over here, over here. Come here, boyos. I'm out of all ammo. I need help.
Oh shit! There's two of them, all of them in different corners. That's another fucking team. He's won! He's won!
Mirage is one.
I knocked a red then. I destroyed that fucking Mirage, bro. Oh my god. Literally one shot him. Bro, boys, I'm already sloshed out of my mind.
Yeah, I know. Remember the last time you came back from vacation and had a couple drinks?
Yeah, that was a good time.
In drop number 97, I showcased single-handedly the most powerful position in the entire POI, top tower. This platform is only accessible via vertical movement legend kits or evac towers. And if you get a marksman rifle up here, like a 30-30 or a triple take, it's a GG.
Wow. Hit that one. Hit that one.
Oh my goodness.
Damn. Alright, I feel kind of bad for doing this shit. This shit is busted, dude.
Finally, drop 90 showcases just how strong Horizon can be at this POI, and at hot drops in general. This bad guy Horizon we take on doesn't outright win her gunfight with us, but she does draw the fight out long enough using her unique movement abilities that her kit provides, that I get killed for free from another team.
She's flesh.
23. 11. Motherfucker, dude. I'm coming to you.
No, from behind.
Oh, yeah, you got him.
From behind!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is once again that time to take a look at the stats, see what we learned from these 100 drops at Containment. Of course, as always, we will compare the stats from the 100 drops at Containment to what my seasonal averages are so far this season, and here they are. As you can see, I have a 6.87% total win rate, 742 total games played, 51 total games won. The average damage for this season is looking like 573.77 damage points per game. KDR is a solid 1.8, and kills per game is actually 1.8 as well. So that's the baseline that we will be comparing my stats from these 100 drops to. Let's see if they are better or worse than what I can expect to do on average this season. And looking at the numbers, of course, we're always going to look at damage per game, kills per game, and win rate, since those are the three things that you are going to aim to do in every single game that you play of Apex Legends. And looking at damage per game first, Containment sees a decent improvement over my seasonal average. So we did a little bit more damage than we can expect to do in an average game, which is great. About 30 more, which is solid. Not the best that we've ever seen on the series, but any kind of improvement over your average is always something that we're okay with and something that we're looking for, right? Kills per game, on the other hand, was literally just about as small of an improvement as you could possibly expect. 0.01 kills per game extra on Containment over my seasonal average. So just about as even as you could possibly get, just about as average as you can possibly expect to see. And then win rate looks to be pretty decently higher, about 1.3% higher on the win rate statistic. I won 8 out of my 100 drops, and like I said, my average win rate this season is 6.87. So slight improvement in all categories means that we're looking at a positive POI. Is this the best POI we've seen in the series so far? No, but it is above average, which there is something to be said for that, especially considering this is a hot drop, and you know, performance at hot drops could be a little bit variable. So seeing that we had a pretty good performance overall, reassuring to me and my skills in the game. And then we're going to look at the game modes that we played throughout my 100 drops. So actually, kind of looks like Simon Says. Now that I look at it with this color scheme that I picked. This is just about the most balanced distribution of game modes that I've played on this series, or that you could really expect from me. Solo queue trios 25% of the time, duo queue trios, which means me and a friend, duo queued and then had a random join us for that game, 24% of the time, duos 24% of the time, and then trios 27% of the time, full 3-stack trios. So pretty even distribution means that we're probably going to see some pretty average results, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, kills per game was literally 0.01 KPG higher than my seasonal average, so pretty average performance here, which as far as hot drops are concerned, I'm very satisfied with, because like I said, you can have a lot of variance in hot drops. Things can really go your way or things can really not, so the fact that we performed slightly above average, I'm very happy with. And then this is something I want to do, start doing for every POI going forward. I want to take a random stat or a stat of interest that I found throughout my 100 drops and showcase it. It'll be a different stat for every single drop, but for this one, Containment, I actually looked at the footage, and 100% of the time that I dropped the Containment, I found a P2020 off drop, which is pretty unbelievable. But if you played Apex Legends before, you probably understand where I'm coming from. And you're hot dropping. You have to expect that you're probably going to find some shit loot, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So, am I surprised? Not really. Am I a little, disappointed? Not really. But, it is what it is. It's Apex Legends. You got to work with what you got, right? And now let's look at the top POIs. We now have 6 POIs that we've looked at over the course of this series so far. And Containment slots in there pretty decently at 3rd place. We have an improvement, like I said, in all 3 stats that we looked at. First, of course, is Hammond Labs, which saw a pretty solid improvement in all, especially the damage per game. Damage per game was really solid at Hammond Labs, which is why I want to keep it in 1st place, because that's a very significant increase over my seasonal average there. Stacks had solid improvement in all 3. Containment I slotted right behind Stacks, just because that kills per game was just about average. Like, it was positive, but honestly, in terms of data, that small of a positive improvement means it's just about average. Relic, like I said, Relic and Estates were 2 of my other average POIs. I think Containment was ever so slightly better than Relic, but I think you could also make the argument to slot Relic over Containment because of the increased damage per game, but I wanted to give Containment the edge because, like I said, Containment had a positive improvement in all 3 stats, whereas Relic only had a positive improvement in 2 stats. And then Estates, like I said, was another average POI, and Monument, as always, we don't talk about what happened at Monument. So, that's everything. Okay, Bubba, I'm coming. Oh, did you want to join the video, Bubs? Bubba, what stat were you looking at? How many naps you took a day? How many times you begged me for food this morning? Is that what you want to look at? Oh no, you're not going anywhere, you little goblin. You little goblin, you little gremlin. Oh, yeah. Alright, there you go. But that's everything that I have stat-wise to talk about from my 100 drops at Containment. I think it was a pretty mid POI, pretty solid POI. I don't want to say mid. Mid has a negative connotation to it. It was a very middling, very average POI, slightly above average performance on my part, which I'm very happy with. But, I think it's one of the better POIs in the game, simply because of the ability for you to get quick action, rack up a couple quick kills, get in the flow state, and then turn that into, snowball effect that into a pop-off game. That's really what Containment has going for it over all the other POIs, especially on Kings Canyon. There aren't too many POIs that have very consistent hot drops like this. So I think its snowball and its pop-off game potential is really what makes this POI special, in my opinion. But that's everything I have for you today. I, of course, am Ground on Go. I do shit 100 times in video games, break down the stats like we just did, figure out trends, and hopefully become a little better at the games we look at along the way. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you want to see next, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Isn't that right, Bubba? Oh, yes. Look, Pepe. Yes, I love you. But Pepe.